Today in this session we will be covering the commercial production of Dahi, Lassi and Chhachh. The Dahi, Lassi and Chhachh, these are very important fermented products and are in high demand in the market. According to Food Standard Safety Authority of India, Dahi or curd, it means the product obtained from pasteurized or boiled milk by souring, natural or otherwise, and Dahi is manufactured by addition of harmless lactic acid culture or other harmless bacterial culture. Normally, the bacteria that is used is the culture of Streptococcus lactis, but sometimes Streptococcus lactis it may be associated with other bacteria also, that is Streptococcus cremoris, then sometimes Lactobacillus bulgaricus etc. They may also be used for manufacturing of Dahi. Dahi, it may contain added sugar or it may be sold in plain form as such. In case of Dahi, the composition remains the same as that of the milk from which it is manufactured. As per FSSAI Act, it shall contain the same minimum percentage of milk fat and milk solids not fat as the milk from which it is prepared. In the event when Dahi or curd is sold or offered for sale without any indication of the class of milk, when it is not mentioned whether the Dahi which is being sold is made out of toned milk, skimmed milk, full cream milk, cow milk or any other type of milk, in such cases the standards prescribed for Dahi prepared from buffalo milk shall apply. That means in case of generally it will be 6% fat and 9% SNF in case of undeclared Dahi. If we see the composition of standards for Dahi, the acidity it will remain approximately 0.7% lactic acid, and in case of sour Dahi it may be 1.0, yeast and mold count shall be 100 per gram maximum, and in case of sour Dahi also it shall be 100. The coliform count per gram maximum 10 is the permissible limit, and phosphatase test it shall be negative both in the case of sweet Dahi and sour Dahi. Phosphatase test which indicates that all the pathogenic bacteria are destroyed and Dahi is free from any disease producing bacteria, a negative phosphatase test indicates the same. So, it is very important that whatever Dahi is being sold, the phosphatase test has to be negative. Once we see the food and nutritive value of Dahi, Dahi is a highly palatable food product. Some people may not like to drink milk, but they will like to consume Dahi or such fermented product. Dahi is very easily digested as compared to the milk, and it has a changed therapeutic value due to its contents of antibiotics. So, because of its very high, very good nutritive value, it is generally preferred by children, then convalescents and people belonging to all the age groups. Once we see, now we come to the composition of whole milk Dahi. In case of whole milk Dahi prepared from the buffalo milk, the water content will be approximately 85 to 88%. Fat percentage it may vary from 5 to 8%. It all depends on the composition of milk or the fat percentage of milk which is being subjected to Dahi manufacturing. The protein content it is almost the same what it is in the milk, that is 3.2 to 3.4%. Lactose which is the milk sugar, that is varies between 4.6 to 5.2%. Ash or mineral matter it varies from 0.7 to 0.72%, and lactic acid its content may vary from 0.5 to 1%. the lactic acid content in dahi, it may be sometimes as high as 1.2% also, but normally the lactic acid content of dahi is in the range of 0.7 to 0.8% only. We see now we come to the flow chart for dahi production. So, in case of dahi, we will receive milk with fat 4.5% and SNF 8.5%. So, we are receiving the pasteurized standardized milk and we are adding pasteurized water to standardize the fat to 3%. That means we are going to process, we are going to manufacture toned milk dahi. Now, this after addition of pasteurized water and standardizing the milk fat to 3% level, the milk is heated to 40 degrees centigrade, and after the milk attains a temperature of 40 degrees centigrade, skimmed milk powder SMP is added to raise the SNF content to 14%. The milk which we had taken for conversion into dahi was having a SNF content of approximately 9%, but dahi with SNF content above 10% is generally liked by all the consumers in the market, and a level of 12 to 14% SNF in the dahi is achieved by addition of skim milk powder or condensed skim milk. Skim milk powder, you know, it has got 0.5% fat and 97% SNF. Skim milk powder is a product which is primarily used for toning and standardization of various types of milks. After addition of SMP, it is thoroughly mixed in the vat where we are standardizing the milk for manufacturing of dahi. It is followed by heating up to a level of 90 to 92 degrees centigrade and kept for 10 minutes. Then after that, the heated milk is cooled to 43 degrees centigrade prior to inoculating it with culture. Once the temperature is reached to 43 degrees centigrade, the milk is inoculated with bacterial culture, primarily Streptococcus lactis at the rate of 0.5 to 1% of the quantity of milk we have taken. For example, if we have started with 100 kg of milk, we will add culture to the tune of 0.5 to 1 kg. Depending upon the season, the quantity of inoculum may vary. For example, in winters you may add in 100 kg of milk intended to be converted into dahi, you may add 0.8 to 1 kg of curd, while in case of summer you may add 0.5 to 0.6 kg of inoculum only. Once the inoculum or bacterial culture of Streptococcus lactis is added, then the cultured material is filled in the plastic cups of different capacity, 100 ml, 200 ml, 400 ml or 5-liter mudkis, that is plastic jars, and the substitute for bacterial culture in some cases is culturing is done by use of DVS cultures. These are the freeze dried direct vat set cultures, where the cultures have not to be prepared in the laboratory, but DVS cultures are used to directly where they are mixed with some quantity of milk and added to the milk which has been heated to 43 degree centigrade and having SNF content of approximately 12 to 14%. Once the culturing is complete, incubation starts, and incubation of the cultured mix is done at 43 degrees centigrade for 4 to 5 hours, or alternatively till the acidity reaches to 0.6%. If in the market there is a demand for dahi with high acidity, in that case at the time of incubation we will incubate the mix till the acidity reaches to a level of 0.7 to 0.8% lactic acid. If the acidity is allowed to increase further, it may have an impact on the storage quality of finished product. So, the acidity has reached to a level of 0.6 to 0.7%. One thing prior to this, what we have to take care is that the time gap between the culturing and filling should not be more than 45 minutes to 1 hour. If this gap increases, it will have an adverse impact on the dahi manufactured in terms of its flavor and consistency. It is very important that once the culturing is complete, the mix it has to be packed and incubation started. It should not be delayed because it will adversely affect the quality of the finished product. Once the acidity reaches a level of 0.6 to 0.7% lactic acid, the filled jars or cups, what the case may be, or the polypacked material, if we pack the cultured liquid milk in polypacks, all the material is shifted to the cold room and it is stored below 6 degrees centigrade. The packed dahi, it can be the packed jars, cups, they can be further packed in corrugated boxes properly labeled. Matkis, if it dahi we are packing in plastic matkis, they have to be carried as such from cold room to the transport vehicles, and if it is packed in polythene film, then those polypacks of 200 ml or 400 ml or 500 ml, they have to be stacked in the milk pouch crates, and those crates can be subsequently stored in the cold room. The very important aspect is how much is the keeping quality of dahi. Dahi has a very short keeping quality at room temperature. Prolonged storage leads to rapid rise in acidity with whey formation, and under refrigerated conditions, that is storage between 5 to 10 degrees centigrade, normally less than 6 degrees centigrade, it keeps well for a week without any deterioration in flavor, color or consumer acceptability. The dahi can be further converted into chhachh or sweet lassi. Sweet lassi is a very refreshing drink and it has a very high demand in the market amongst the consumers. For manufacturing of lassi, we receive the pasteurized milk with fat 4.5% and SNF 8.5%, that is with a total solid content of 13%. We receive this milk in a multi-purpose vat with a agitator. In the multi-purpose stainless steel vat, the milk with 13% total solid is heated to 90 to 95 degrees centigrade and kept at that temperature for 10 minutes. After keeping it for 10 minutes at 90 to 95 degrees centigrade, the milk is cooled down to 43 degrees centigrade, which is the inoculation temperature. Then it is inoculated, as in the case of dahi, the cooled milk at 43 degrees centigrade is inoculated with bacterial culture of Streptococcus lactis or Streptococcus lactis and Streptococcus cremoris at the rate of 0.5 to 1% of the milk. Again, the inoculated material is taken into sterilized clean aluminum cans of 40 liters and it is incubated, and the filled can, the aluminum can filled with cultured milk is incubated at 42 to 43 degrees centigrade for 4 to 5 hours or till the acidity reaches about 0.6%. Sometimes the higher acidities are achieved, and in that case the acidity level may be raised to 0.8 to 0.9% depending upon the what consumers like in the market. They want more sweet and sour lassi, or they want sweet and less acidic lassi. It all depends what is the consumer's demand. So normally after incubating at 43 degrees centigrade for 4 to 5 hours or till the acidity reaches a level of 0.6% lactic acid, the curd in the vat, the curd in the aluminum cans is taken to a vat with a stainless steel vat with an agitator. So the curd is dumped in the stainless steel vat and water is added in such quantities so that the total solid content is reduced to 8%. Very initially, once we started the lassi manufacturing, the total solid content of the milk was 13%. Now it is reduced to 8% by addition of water, because lassi, sweet lassi with total solid content of 8% is very much liked by, is generally liked by the consumers. After addition of, after standardizing the total solid to 8%, the sugar syrup is added. It may be having a sugar syrup with a concentration of 50% sucrose is added to standardize the sugar to a level of 12% in the finished product. After this, the if flavors are to be added, which is optional, you can add rose. Normally rose or kevada flavor is added at the rate of 0.2 ml per liter of the mix. So I repeat once again, we have taken, I'll go back to the slides. We have received the milk with 13% total solid, heated it to 90 to 95 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. We have cooled it to 43 degrees centigrade, inoculated with a culture. Then we have filled in the cans and allowed the incubated at 43 degrees centigrade for 4 to 5 hours. Then the curd is broken and total solid is standardized to 8% by addition of pasteurized chill water. Then sugar syrup is added. Sugar syrup with a concentration of 50% sugar is added to standardize the product to 12% in the mix. We add kevada or rose flavor to at the rate of 0.2 ml per liter. Then this mix is packed in 200 or 500 ml polypacks normally. In PET bottles also dahi is packed and sealed with aluminum foils. Once the packing is complete, we transfer it to the cold room and store it below 6 degrees centigrade before it is dispatched to the market. In case of cups of 200 and 500 ml capacity, the secondary packaging is done in corrugated boxes, but in case the lassi is packed in poly packs, the poly packs are stored in milk pouch crate or plastic pouch crates. All the material, whether it is corrugated boxes or the polypacks in the plastic crates, they are shifted to the cold room and maintained at temperatures preferably below 6 degrees centigrade before they are dispatched to the market. So, this is the commercial production of sweet lassi. Lassi may be processed by UHT also. That means it may be subjected to a heating after incubation. It may be subjected to temperatures of 125 to 135 degrees centigrade for fraction of second. However, in such cases it has to be declared on the pack that the pack may not contain the active bacterial culture. Once it is subjected to UHT, the pack may not contain the active bacterial culture, while in case of polypacks or polystyrene cups, the bacterial culture will be very active. So, now another fermented product which is finding lot of importance in the market today is the manufacturing of chaach. In metropolis like Bombay, Delhi, Madras, Calcutta, there is heavy demand of chaach because it can be readily mixed with the cooked rice and that can be utilized as a food without much processing needed. So, while manufacturing chaach, we take milk, we take, you can say we take toned milk with fat 3% and SNF 8.5%. Again, we heat it to 90 to 95 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes, cool it to 43 degrees centigrade before inoculating it with the culture of Streptococcus lactis or Streptococcus cremoris at the rate of 0.5 to 1%. We fill the chaach in this material in cans, 40-liter aluminum cans, and these cans are incubated at 43 degrees centigrade for 4 to 5 hours, as was the case with lassi and dahi, or till the acidity reaches about 0.6%, again here also 0.6%. Then we break the curd in a stainless steel vat with an agitator and add pasteurized water at the rate of 60% of the curd. So, there is no norm that how much water should be added, but normally if water at the rate of 60 to 80% of the curd is added, that chaach is normally liked by the consumers. If there is a demand for salted chaach with masala, then we add roasted and powdered jeera at the rate of 350 gram of jeera per 100 liter of mix, and followed by iodized refined salt at the rate of 650 gram per 100 liter of mix. Packaging is further carried out in 200, 500 ml polypacks, or it may also be packed in UHT packs and subjected to ultra high temperature treatment of 125 to 135 degrees centigrade for a fraction of second. But again, it shall have to be mentioned on the labels that the product, the chaach which is contained in UHT packs, it does not have the active bacterial culture. So, polypacks, the packed chaach in polypacks is transferred to the cold room and stored below 6 degrees centigrade, so that the acidity does not rise further. So, polypacks, they are again stored in the pouch crates, plastic pouch crates, and UHT packs, they are stored in the corrugated cartons. So, in this session we have seen the manufacturing of dahi, then sweet lassi and chaach. These three, except dahi, there are no mandatory standards for sweet lassi and chaach. They are manufactured according to the consumer's requirement. These products are in very high demand, and there are commercial dairies which are converting approximately 2 lakh liters of milk, 2 lakh to 4 lakh liters of milk per day into products such as dahi, sweet lassi, salted chhachh, and packing in 200 ml polypacks, 500 ml polypacks, polystyrene cups of 100 ml, 400 ml, 1 liter, or poly jars of 5-liter capacity, and dispatched to the market for further utilization, and the dispatch is in cold condition, that is at all, for all the products except UHT packed lassi and chaach. The dispatch is at temperatures below 6 degrees centigrade.